Well, how does daylight savings time help or hinder your work productivity? That's what we're here to talk about this morning. Joining me is Bethany Chafin from Account Temp. It's great to have you, Bethany. Perfect timing. We have the time change. We were just discussing this to get it right.
This
Saturday
Sunday,
night when we go to bed, we actually do fall backwards, so we gain an hour.
Yes.
But it seems like even though we've got that extra hour, our bodies still have a hard time adjusting.
Absolutely. Any change to your schedule is going to throw everyone off. And even though we gain an hour, there's still never enough time in the day. So.
Right, absolutely. And this is particularly important, I think, in the workplace. And you guys have kind of done, and you've got some information from some studies that have been done.
Yes.
That it's just lack of sleep overall is and you could have come at a better day on Thursdays for what I've kind of been that way all week. I think with Halloween, you know, being here, and I don't know what it is, but you could definitely give me some pointers. But you guys did it. You've got some information from a study that was really interesting.
We did. Account Temps did a study of over 1,000 workers in the U.S. and how sleep or lack of sleep affects their productivity, and 71% of people said that they work tired. So of course that means there's a ton of productivity lost. It can lead to errors, being a little grumpy during the day, of course affects your teams, and how that affects companies. You know, they may see turnover or just have a negative work environment. So it is getting to be more and more important.
Right, and there were some, you shared with me some mistakes that were made that were kind of a big deal.
We asked in the survey what mistakes people attributed to being too tired, and some of them were, you know, they paid all of their employees twice, which is great for the employees, but they also paid their bills twice, which is never good. And then also one respondee mentioned that they reformatted the wrong computer server, which is never good. And then several people said, of course, they fell asleep in meetings or on conference calls or in front of their boss, and no one ever wants that to happen.
No, definitely more mistakes are made when you are tired. So what should companies do? What do you suggest?
For companies, you know, making sure that their teams are very clear on their deadlines, prioritizing projects, making sure their teams have enough help. And a lot of people don't raise their hand and say when they need help.
Right.
So making sure that you're having those conversations, that you're monitoring overtime. You know, can you bring in some help to alleviate that? Can your teams maybe push a deadline back? What can be done to alleviate that stress in the workplace? And then, of course, just keeping that environment where you're encouraging people to take care of themselves.
Right. And if there is additional help that is needed, that's kind of what Account Temp
That is what we
does.
do. Yes.
Right.
Yes, we do staffing for accounting and finance for temporary and temporary to hire work. And then we have several other teams that focus on different kinds of help. So depending on what you need, we can usually help you out.
All right, here's a big question for you. Are naps a good idea? Please say yes. Because I have been lobbying for a nap room. Let me just tell you, there has been times I've looked at a couple of conference rooms that are here and they have thought about it.
It is getting to be more common, and I think it's all about setting the right tone in your environment. A third of employees said they would not use a nap room because they don't want to look like a slacker.
Right.
But in reality, you're actually doing yourself a favor by making sure you're recharging and taking breaks during the day.
Right.
So I think that that's just an attitude that is changing a little bit, and hopefully more nap rooms will be coming. I'd love one.
Oh, I know. Wouldn't that be great? And with the time change coming up too, do you feel like your sleep pattern should pretty much stay the same on the weekends? Would that help kind of with those Monday mornings?
Absolutely. That's actually one of the biggest tips that came out of that survey was, you know, if you throw your weekend completely off and totally change your sleep schedule, you know, I think everybody kind of dreads that Sunday night where you know you're going to have to get up the next morning to go to work early. But if you can keep that at least somewhat consistent and make sure you're taking care of yourself over the weekend, it will make your work week easier.
Right, and avoiding, I love that caffeine. I have to have the afternoon pick-me-up, but you need to you need to schedule that though, early enough in the day.
Schedule it early enough in the day where it's actually picking you up versus keeping you up.
Right.
Because then you're just kind of continuing that cycle.
Right, and it's, you know, as we're talking, these are all the things that my pediatrician used to tell me about my children. You know, watch the, you know, of course, always pretty much avoid caffeine with children, even on vacation. Do not just go crazy and get totally off your schedule, staying up really, really late. So it's things that we know, but it's just good reminders that
it's hard to practice it as you get older.
It is, because we are all so busy. There's not enough time in the day. You and I just discussed about that. Exactly. All right, great. So we want to remind everybody of the time change that's taking place on Saturday night. We need to remember to put your clock. We're falling back, we said. So we gain an hour, which can be a good thing, but we still, it takes our bodies, it seems like, a little time to get adjusted.
Absolutely.
All right, and Account Temps, tell me if people are maybe looking for a job or some extra help, how can they get in touch with you all?
We have our local office here. Our phone number is 265-6522, or you can check out our website at accounttemps.com, and that's accounttemps with one T.
All right, Bethany, some great information. So fun having you on this morning. Thanks for being here. And stick around. We're going to now discuss video games and how they affect your brain right when we come back.